tackled about the contribution of the three mathematicians under the field of the mathematics. But first, to introduce myself, my name is Jie-an BSN 1, Batch 2, Major in Filipino. The three mathematicians under the field of mathematics. First, we have Thomas Bayes. Thomas Bayes provided one of the most important tools used in the probability theory and statistics. It allows us to figure out how likely something is based on the evidence we have at hand. Finding the probability of an event when we have a good understanding of the underlying mechanism tends to be pretty straightforward. Some basic calculations can give you the probability of drawing a full house in a hand of poker, or getting 5 heads in a row when flipping a coin 5 times, or of holding winning a lottery ticket. In the most interesting situation, however, we are interested in the revised problem. Rather than computing probability of outcomes based on the known of underlying mechanism, we want to gain the understanding of a hidden process based on observed outcomes. This need to understand a hidden process based on observations underlies situations ranging from medicines, how likely it is a patient has a disease based on a positive test result for that disease, to the social science, what is the base model that explains the relationship between inflation and employment based on historical observation. Go. This is the pic of Thomas Bayes. Mathematician is Archimedes. Archimedes was possibly the greatest mathematician of all time. He is best known for his contribution to our early understanding of physics by figuring out how levers work in the famous legend of his discovery of how water is displayed by a submerged. However, Archimedes was able to outdo even his own accomplishments in physics. He was able to estimate the value of pi to a remarkable precise value and to calculate the area underneath a parabolic. What's truly amazing is that he made this calculation using techniques of superimposing clues to ideas from modern calculus that were invented about 1,800 years later. Archimedes calculated pi and areas underscored by approximating them with straight-edge polygons, adding more and more refined shapes so that he gets closer and closer to the desired value. This is strongly reminiscent of the modern idea of an infinite limit. As far as his mathematical sophistication was concerned, Archimedes was nearly 2 millennia ahead of his time. This is the picture of Archimedes. Third was Isaac Newton, 1642 and 1727. No list of the greatest mathematician could be complete without Newton. With his invention of calculus, and an achievement shared with our next entry. Mathematics was able for the first time of systematically describe how things change across space and time. Newton developed the calculus in the context of developing his theories of physics. The language of calculus is the most natural way to describe motion. A car's speed is the rate at which it is changing position, or the derivative of its position. The acceleration of a ball dropped from a tall building the language of calculus is the most natural way to describe motion. A car's speed is the rate at which is the changing position, or the derivative of its position. The acceleration of a ball dropped from a tall building is in turn the rate at which its speed is changing, or the derivative of its speed, and Newton understood that his acceleration was the result of the force of the Earth's gravity acting on the mass of the ball. Newton physics also represented a milestone in overall view of the world. Earlier, physicists and astronomers like the previously mentioned Johannes Kepler understood that the behavior and the movement of objects followed certain patterns. But Newton and the physics could follow him understood with the help of mathematics the reasons why objects follow those patterns. Further, Newton's laws were understood to be universal. The same force of gravity that causes a ball to accelerate its fall is the force that keeps the moon going around the earth. The idea that the same laws of physics apply everywhere in the universe is the core. These are the picture of Isaac Newton.